morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm thrilled. My name is Adriana. You all know I've been practicing yoga for 10 years, got my yoga teacher training done during the pandemic, and now I'm teaching yoga via Zoom. I host this yoga for women every month because honestly, it's what I needed. It's been hard this year, and I wanted a place to connect with everyone. Get out of here. And I figured the women in my life could use this as well. So this will be free every month for as long as I can continue to do it. I want to say forever, but that's a long time. Don't. I'm also taking care of my sister's cats, and they're slightly annoying sometimes. They love the yoga mat. I have to keep it rolled up when they're here. Don't do it. Okay, so this morning, my theme for the class is intuition. So I want you all to tap into your intuition. For me, yoga is all about connecting to myself, my highest self, and leading from that place. Take a moment for yourself right now to set the intention for the class, something that speaks to you. And we're going to begin as we always do, with our breathing practice. So you can close your eyes here and you can jump right into that Ujjayi breath. I believe we all know how to do the Ujjayi breath. Can we give a little thumbs up? Thumbs up, Hannah. Okay, I'll walk you through it. So if you know how to, jump into it. If you're still new to it, we create that breath by constricting our throat and breathing in and out of our nose. So you can practice making that ocean's breath, that sound, by pretending to fog a mirror. Let's do that now. So it's that audible quality we're going for. Let's try that again with our mouth closed. And breathe in. It's almost that Darth Vader sound. So they call it the ocean's breath because it sounds like the waves lapping at the shore. So you can just find strength that works for you, that you can hold in your body with comfort and ease. If you notice you're clenching in the jaw, the shoulders, the abdomen, the glutes, the hands or feet, just try to let that go as you exhale. We're going to do this Ujjayi breath for about 2 minutes on our own here. You can play around with the length of the inhale, the length of the exhale. And I'd like you to direct the breath down into your belly. So deep belly Ujjayi breaths. And if your mind wanders at any moment, just continue to bring it back here and now. Maybe you focus on your breath, or you focus on the sounds around you, or the feeling of your body where it connects to the floor. Just something that brings you back to this moment. And you can open your eyes here and look around. See if you feel a little more focused, a little more awake after breathing in that way for a couple minutes. We'll come into a Shavasana, corpse pose, lying on our backs to begin. And as we're lying here on our backs, we can bring our arms up over our head, giving ourselves a full body stretch here. You can bring your hands to the left, your feet to the left, creating a crescent moon shape here. Stretching out your body. Just try to keep your shoulder blades against the mat and your tailbone, your seats bones against the mat. You can even cross that right leg, that right ankle over the left ankle. You'll feel a deeper stretch in your hip flexor there and the side of your right body. And let's breathe into that side body here. Breathing in again. Deep breath. And we release, coming back into a neutral position, and then bringing our arms and legs over to the right, creating that crescent moon shape on the other side. You can cross your left ankle over the right ankle, creating a bit of a deeper stretch here, and breathe into that left side body. You can do a body scan here and just notice if you begin clenching while you're stretching here. And just release any tension that you're holding, any clenching of the muscles, to really allow this stretch to take hold. Take one more deep breath in. And as we release and exhale, we release our body, and you can bring your knees to your chest here. Giving them a nice hug, smiling to yourself here. You can put your hands on top of your kneecaps and circle them one way, giving your low back a really nice massage, and circling them the other way. From here, we'll roll to the side into a fetal position for a moment. And come on to our fronts into a tabletop position. We'll lift our right arm up to the sky as we breathe in. And we're going to tuck it under our left arm here, bringing our right shoulder down to the ground, right ear down to the ground. And you can take that left arm and just straighten it in front of you. Or maybe you take that left arm and place it on your low back behind you. This is a nice stretch for your shoulder here. And we'll breathe in, lifting ourselves up and out of that position, coming back into tabletop, setting up for the same thing on the other side. So we ground that right hand, breathe in, lifting that left hand up, and breathe out, threading the needle, bringing that left shoulder down to the ground, and that right arm out in front of us here. Or onto our lower back behind us, yogi's choice. Taking deep breaths. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can push yourself up and out of this position. Coming back to that tabletop. We'll walk our knees back, our hands forward, and surrender here down in puppy pose. Bringing our forehead to the floor. It's kind of like a mini down dog. So we release in our shoulders here. And I love these poses where we're so close to the ground, opening our hearts up to the earth. And I want you to imagine as you inhale, you're inhaling that grounding, nourishing, intuitive earth energy, filling up your body, balancing out your chakras. And as you exhale, you release any fears, any blocks, any tension, stress, anxiety down into the ground. Take one more deep breath here. And as we release, we come back up into that tabletop, setting up for cat-cow. Wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. We'll breathe in, tilting our pelvis, bringing our belly to the floor, looking up. And as we exhale, we arch our backs, shoulder blades to the ceiling, looking up to our belly button here, tucking our tailbone. Breathe in, moving slowly, belly to the floor, shoulders away from the ears. Breathe out, arching your back, shoulder blades to the ceiling, looking up to your belly button. And you can close your eyes here, finding some intuitive movements that feel good for you and your body. Just using that full breath, that full exhale for each movement here. And we'll come back to that tabletop. We're going to do a flow here between cow pose and downward dog. So we'll breathe in, bringing our belly to the floor. And as we breathe out, we will curl our toes under and lift ourselves up into downward dog. And don't worry too much about how this position looks right here, because right away we'll be breathing in, bringing our knees back to the floor, belly to the floor, cow pose. And breathing out, curling our toes under, lifting into that downward dog. Breathe in, knees to the floor, belly to the floor, cow pose. Breathe out, curling our toes under, lifting into downward dog. Breathe in, knees to the floor, bellies to the floor. Breathe out, curling our toes under, lifting into downward dog. And we're going to stay in this downward dog. You can pedal out your legs here, straightening one, bending the other, straightening the other, bending the other, a couple times. And we'll slowly walk our feet to meet our hands in a forward fold here. You can grab your elbows, releasing your head, your neck, shaking your head, yes. I will lead with my highest self. No, I will not give in to any fears, any doubts. Slowly but surely, we roll ourselves up, vertebrae by vertebrae, staying connected to every sensation in our body. When we're at the top, breathe in, lifting your hands up over your head. Breathe out, bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Connecting your heart, love to every movement in this class. I want you to pay attention to your feet here, lifting your toes up and down a couple times. And again, imagine breathing in that grounding, nourishing earth energy up the arches of your feet, the front body, filling you up completely. And as you exhale, you release any stress, anxiety, doubts, fears, blocks down into the ground. Take another deep breath in as you smile here. And exhale as you release it all down into the ground. Wonderful. We're going to flow through some sun salutation here. We breathe in, lifting our hands up over our heads. We breathe out, bending our knees, bending our bodies, folding forward. Breathe in, lifting your body halfway, shoulders away from your ears, hands on your shins, hands on your thighs. Breathe out, framing your feet with your hands, stepping your right foot back, lowering your right knee, pointing or curling those right toes, yogi's choice. Breathe in, lifting up, hands on that left thigh here for support, or hands up over your head. Breathe out, framing that left foot and stepping that left foot back into plank pose. Breathe in, looking forward. Breathe out, slow as you can go, lowering yourself down. You can point your toes here. Touch your forehead to the mat. We'll breathe in, lifting up into baby cobra, cobra or upward dog, yogi's choice. And breathe out, we lower down. Breathe in to one of the cobras or upward dog here. Just be mindful of your low back and what feels good for your body. And breathe out, lowering down. One more time, we breathe in, lifting ourselves up. And breathe out, lowering down, forehead touches the mat. Breathe in, coming into our tabletop position, curling our toes under. Breathe out, downward dog, lifting our tailbone up to the ceiling. Our low belly reaching towards our high thighs. Releasing in our shoulders here, releasing our head and our neck. We stabilize that left foot, breathe in, lifting that right leg up, keeping our hips parallel. Breathe out, bringing that knee to the chest, stepping the foot between our hands, low lunge on the other side. We lower that left knee, point or curl the toes, your choice. Breathe in, lifting up, using that right thigh for support or hands up over our head. Breathe out. Framing that right foot, left foot steps up to meet the right foot, forward fold, release. Breathe in, lifting yourself halfway. Breathe out, release. Breathe in, lifting your hands up over your head, touching them together lightly. Breathe out, hands together in front of your chest. Connecting to your heart, smiling here to yourself. Let's take a couple deep breaths in. You're feeling your blood pumping at this point, your energy moving in your body. That's what we're here for. Let's do the same thing on the other side. We breathe in, lifting our hands up over our head. We breathe out, folding forward. Breathe in, lifting up halfway. Breathe out, framing those feet, stepping the left foot back, lowering that left knee, pointing or curling the toes. Breathe in, lifting yourself up, pressing that back foot into the ground to help with balance here. You can bring your hands up over your head or hands on that thigh for support. Breathe out, framing that right foot, stepping it back to meet the left foot, plank pose. Breathe in, looking forward. Breathe out, we lower down, and you can push up immediately into upward dog here, or bring your forehead down to the ground and lift into cobra or baby cobra. Breathe out, coming into that tabletop, curling your toes under, lifting into downward dog. Stabilizing that right foot, we breathe in, lifting that left foot up. Hips parallel, breathe out, knee to chest, stepping that left foot between your hands, lowering that right knee, pointing or curling those toes. Breathe in, lifting up. You can use that thigh for support or hands up over your head, pressing that back right foot into the ground to help with your support here. Oh my gosh. My cat just dove into the ground there. Breathe out, framing that left foot and stepping that right foot up to meet the left foot, forward fold. Release. Breathe in, lifting halfway. Breathe out, forward fold, release. Breathe in, lifting your hands up over your head, clapping them together. Breathe out, hands together in front of your chest. Big smile on your face as you breathe here. Wonderful. We'll take a step into the middle of our mat here. Breathe in, lifting your hands up over your head, grabbing your left wrist with your right hand. Breathe out, bending over to the right for a nice side stretch of the body. Your left hip will naturally come out a bit to keep both your feet firmly planted, equally planted into the ground. Breathe in to come up here, and we switch our hands. Left hand grabs right wrist. Breathe out, we stretch over to the left, creating a nice stretch in our side body here. Again, your right hip will bump out to keep an equal distribution between your feet. Hi, Candace, jump in, join us anytime you can. Breathe in, we come back up, right hand grabs left wrist. Breathe out, we stretch over to the right. Breathe in, left hand grabs right wrist. Breathe out, we stretch over to the left. Candace, if you don't mind just muting yourself. Breathe in, coming back up. Breathe out, we open our hands up, our legs up into a wide-legged standing position. And really connect to the outer edges of your feet here. We don't want to collapse in our arches, but ground through our feet, lifting through our arches. You can tuck your tailbone here, roll your shoulders back, and just take a moment to connect to this powerful pose. We breathe in. We breathe out. Let's take our toes and pivot them facing out and bend our knees, coming into goddess position for a moment here. You can have your hands on your thighs for support if you need. We're trying to get our thighs parallel to the ground, but you might be here, you might be up here. We have to meet ourselves where we are. You can take your hands, bend your elbows, and spirit fingers with me for a moment, connecting to that divine feminine energy that is within us all for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten out those legs. Well done. We'll pivot that right foot, setting up for Trikonasana, triangle pose, left foot forward, right foot back. We open up our arms, bend that left knee slightly, breathe in and breathe out, reaching that left hand down to left shin. See how you feel here before you go down to the ground. And we're really using our abdomen here. We're not collapsing in our body, but holding ourselves up with our muscles. Breathe in, shoulders away from our ears as we open our chest to the wall, to the world, to each other, opening our hearts. Breathe in, lifting yourself back up here. Breathe out. We're going to pivot our hips so that they're parallel. Right and left foot facing forward. Now setting up for pyramid pose. You might step about a foot in closer. We'll breathe in, lifting our hands up. Breathe out, bringing your hands down to that left shin. Stay here, see how this feels. It should be a deep stretch already. If it's good enough for you, you might stay here, or you might lower down your hands to the ground. Stretching out that hamstring, that calf, that glutes, that glute. If you have any blocks or books, this is a great position to use them. And just breathe here as you release. Listening to your body. If your pose doesn't look like my pose, that's totally normal. We have different bodies. Breathe in, lifting yourself back up. Breathe out, we're gonna step that right foot back, lower that right knee, coming into a low lunge here. We'll bring our hands on the inside of that left foot, setting up for a lizard pose. So inside of that left foot, and we can walk that left foot out to the left here, opening up that knee. But if this is too much for you, you might just stay in that low lunge and continue to stretch out that way. So you can stay here, or maybe even lower down on your forearms. Again, it depends on your body and what feels good to you. You might come onto the outer edge of that left foot as it opens up even more. If you feel any twings and twangs, release from this position. That's a sign that we've gone too far. Breathe in, lifting yourself up. Coming out of that position, we can come into a tabletop here. And then we're gonna come into a froggy pose or a yogi squat, however you wanna call it. You can be up on your tiptoes here with your hands out in front of you. The main point is to have a straight back here, reaching that tailbone down to the ground, shoulders away from our ears. If you can bring your heels down to the ground, that's great too. And maybe you bring your hands together in front of your chest, pressing your elbows against your knees. And check in with your body again here. I always clench my glutes getting into this position. So if you're finding that you're clenching anywhere, just try to get into this pose softly, releasing our tension. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Another deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Wonderful. We'll come out of this pose. You can stand up here. Setting up for low lunge on the other side. We bring that right foot forward. Step that left foot back. Woo. Lower that left knee. Pointer curl those left toes. We can stay here if this is a deep enough stretch for you, or we're setting up for lizard pose, bringing our hands to the left side of our right foot and letting our right foot come out to the right here, our right knee fall to the right. Maybe our foot even opens up. But listen to you and your body. A low lunge is a great place to be. You can low down onto your forearms if that's in your ability. And just release your head and neck wherever you are for a moment. Breathe in and breathe out to release. Breathe in, lifting ourselves up and out of this position. Lifting all the way up, setting up for pyramid pose. In pyramid pose, our hips are parallel, both feet facing forward, right foot forward, left foot back. Feet are about hip width distance apart here. We breathe in, lifting our hands up. We breathe out, bringing our hands down to that right shin. See how that feels for you. It might be a deep enough stretch already, or maybe you lower down to the ground. Maybe you even drape your body over that right leg, feeling a deep stretch in that hamstring, that calf, that right glute. And using your breath to help release. Breathe in, lifting yourself up. Opening up into Trikonasana. We widen our stance. Right foot forward, left foot back. Open up our arms. Our left hips bump back. As we breathe out, we bring that right hand down to right shin. Shoulders away from your ears. See how you feel here before lowering down to the ground. And keep a micro bend in that right knee. We never want to lock our joints. We want to use our muscles to hold us up. We're not collapsing in our abdomen, but really using, again, our muscles to hold ourselves up. Breathe in, smiling here, opening your heart to yourself, to each other, to the world. And breathe out. Your next inhale will lift ourselves back up, coming into that goddess pose. We bend our knees, toes pointing out, heels in, trying to get our thighs parallel to the ground, tucking that tailbone, and we can bend our elbows and get the spirit fingers going, really connecting to that energy that's flowing, to that inner divine feminine energy. For 5, 4, if your legs are burning, so are mine. 2, 1, and we straighten them out, coming into that wide-legged pose for a moment, tucking that tailbone, rolling our shoulders back, and just breathe here a couple moments. Slowing our blood, our heart down with our breath. We can hop our legs together. Breathe in, lifting our hands up over our head, grabbing our left wrist with our right hand. Breathe out, bending over to the right here. Hips bump to the left for that crescent moon shape. Breathe in, left hand grabs right wrist. And we bend over to the left, hips bump to the right for that crescent moon shape on the other side. Breathe in, we switch our hands and bend over as we breathe out. Breathe in, we switch our hands and bend over as we breathe out. Wonderful. I'm going to give you a minute to do whatever movement you'd like before we meet down on the ground on our backs. So if there's anything you're really feeling like doing right now, go ahead. I'm literally going to ecstatically dance for a moment. Let that intuition guide you. Wherever we are, whatever you're doing, make your way down onto your back. We'll bring our knees into our chest here. Open your arms up into a T shape. Let your knees fall to the left. Breathing into the belly as we give it our spine a nice twist. Our internal organs a nice massage. Breathe in, bringing your knees back up and let them fall to the right. Breathing into that belly. And breathe in, bringing your knees up and stretching your legs out the length of the mat. Opening your feet as wide as the mat here, setting up for Shavasana. We can press our head against the mat, lifting our chest off the ground, tucking our shoulders under and lowering them back down flush with the mat. Palms facing up by your hips, or resting on your belly, or resting one on the belly, one over the heart, yogi's choice. We'll be here for a short Shavasana so that we have time for our Abhyanga massage. I'll mind the time. wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bring your knees to your chest, rolling over to one side. And pushing yourself up, ending where we began, finishing where we started. We can bring our hands up to our third eye. And if you're feeling brave enough, courageous, please join me in ending with 3 chants of Om. We breathe in together. Breathe in. Breathe in. Namaste. And Namaste is simply the highest version of me acknowledging that in all of you. And I love to say, because this is true, I've been in my lower version for far too long, so I'm really happy to meet you here today. Okay, we can unmute. And if you'd like to stay for the Abhyanga massage, please get your oil. Recommended you do this naked. So if you want to turn off your video, you can do this naked. You are in your own homes. If not, if you're in your loose clothing, awesome. Even if you want to like get a towel for yourself, that's an option too. And we'll start that in about 2 minutes. So just get your oil and yourselves ready. I would recommend having a towel for yourself to sit on, as we will be putting oil on our bodies, and big socks so that you can, or just socks in general, so that you can put the oil on your feet also. It's really, really nice. And I first learned this, I forget exactly what it was. It was like a free workshop for women. And then I was reminded about it the other day through this other group that I'm a part of. And it's just such a lovely form of self-love. It's just, yeah, the more you do this, they recommend do it every day. I'm like, that's crazy. I can't put oil on my body every day. But yeah, the more you do it, it's really grounding. It's really so good for your skin. And there's honestly so many benefits that I won't get into, but it's super awesome. Okay, so I like to use, I like to use coconut oil. So we'll grab our oil and we're gonna start from the top of our body and work our way down. So you can take whatever oil you have here and put it in the palm of your hands and warm it up. We want this to be really nourishing, and I want you to, again, set some sort of intention for yourself here. Like, this oil, warm, nourishing oil, is to help rejuvenate my body and bring me back to a balanced state. I guess that's my intention. Whatever your intention is, just set that for yourself as you massage your hands together. And get it on your fingertips here. And we're gonna put it right on our face. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of news going on that oil isn't good for your face, but it It is. If you're not comfortable doing that, that's totally fine, but I will be putting it right on my face here and massaging it in. And again, I want you to stay connected to that intention of self-love, of self-care, of restoration. Make sure you get into your ears here as well. And just be very gentle, you know, very loving with each movement. Get in your neck. You can even get up into your scalp if you'd like. I don't plan on washing my hair after this, so I will not. But if you're washing your hair, you might as well. It feels amazing. This is really good for blood circulation to the skin, for helping the lymph nodes detoxify, just moving those juices around that stay underneath our skin here. Get into the back of the neck. Give yourself a nice massage. And we can add some more oil here. Again, warming it up in our hands. And we'll work into our arms. So we work into our arms, really massaging, giving it a nice rub. Maybe some circular motions at the joints, the shoulder, really warming up the joints, the elbow, the wrist. Again, staying connected to that intention of self-love, of nourishment, of restoration. The other arm, adding oil as needed, circling the joints. This is so good for arthritis, if you have stiff joints. And the wrist. Make sure you get your hands in here too. Massaging your hands, your fingers. They do so much for us every single day. And we'll grab some more oil. And we can even massage our breasts here. I said it. Massage your breasts. It feels amazing. Again, there are a bunch of lymph nodes in our breasts. I'm just gonna move my camera up a little. Nice circular motions. And moving down to your belly as well. And I want you to make a clockwise circle over your belly. It follows the natural shape of the digestive system. So getting that oil all up in the belly. Can take another moment massaging whatever part, your breasts again if you'd like. And just really, again, connecting to that intention of self-love, of restoration, of nourishment. You can warm up some more oil in your hands, and we're gonna move down to our legs. Getting the thigh, the knee, spending some extra time on the joints again, some circular motions to really warm the joint up. Down to the shin and the calf. And on the ankle, really warming that ankle up with some circular motions around the joints. And really massage that leg, you know, feel the pressure of your hands against the skin. Loving movements, but you can be quite firm here. And if you have some socks, go down right into the foot here. Our feet are so often neglected, shoved into our shoes, and they're so important. They connect to so many different parts of our body, our digestive system. They're very, very sensitive. Giving our feet this extra special treatment is, again, a loving act towards ourselves. You can put that sock on that foot and just go on to the other leg, adding some more oil if you need to, warming it up before we apply it to our skin here. And you can be quite firm, really feeling the pressure of your hands against your skin here, working those lymph nodes, circling around our joints, warming them up, circling it around our ankle joint, warming it up. And then massaging that left foot if you have some socks. Putting some oil on them, connecting one more time to that intention of self-love, self-care, of restoring ourselves to a balanced state. I love massaging my feet. I used to think my feet were so gross. And I've come to a place of like I massage my feet like 3 times a week. I really do. After every shower, I like to use moisturizer on my feet and give them a nice massage. Often during yoga and butterfly pose, I'll give them a nice rub down. And I love my feet now. I'm not grossed up by them at all. Shift of perspective, just like Skylar was talking about. Okay, and we can put that other sock on. And if you need to rub anything else down, go ahead, take that time here to do so. And it is recommended that you keep this on your body as long as you can, but I totally understand that if you are so oiled up, you can't even imagine doing anything other than taking a shower after this. Take a shower. That's totally fine. Just this act is more than enough. Okay, I want to thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I really thought that nobody was going to show up today. That was such a lovely turnout, a lovely surprise. I love you all. Yeah, see how this shows up in your day. If you feel nourished throughout the day, if I don't know, if you can connect any feelings to having done this practice this morning, this Abhyanga massage. I love you all. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us, Candace. I look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, Hannah. I love seeing you here.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, you
thank
too.
You. Okay, bye. Thank you.
Thank you too, and thank you, everybody.
Oh, thank you. Have a lovely day and a lovely rest of your weekend.